Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays and all that. I think I said that in the last video, but whatever, I'll say it again. Why not? Tis the season, right? And welcome once again to my Stormhawks Headcannon, where I talk about my headcanon for the Stormhawks universe. Gotta keep that flame alive, right? So today I'm going to be talking about my headcanon for Starling, and you may be thinking, but Starling already has a character. True, but we don't know a lot about her personality and her, beliefs and whatnot, because we don't get a lot with her. We get about maybe 6 episodes tops with her in it, out of the, number of episodes we had in the 2 seasons. So, in the Stormhawks universe, we do know that, yeah, she lost, she's the last of the Interceptors, and she did undercover, she worked undercover in Cyclonia. And I kind of thought that, there's some headcanons here and there that I've always had for Starling, and my kind of thoughts on her, and how I kind of envision her as more of a character. At least this is, and keep in mind, this is my headcanon, this is no one else's, and I'm not saying, oh, this is the definitive Starling character. No, I'm not saying that at all. This is just my personal headcanon for the character. So I have it that Starling, after the events of she was very, basically, when she was part of the Interceptor, she was very young. She was about 14, 15 years old, and she was just a rookie in the, in the Sky Knight, she was just she had just been made a Sky Knight, and now she's fighting alongside the Interceptors, and shortly after, like maybe a couple months, Repton and his brothers, of course, slaughter the whole lot of them, and that psychologically damages her, because she witnessed the whole thing, but instead of fighting alongside them, she ran. She bugged out, because she was so freaked out at that age of seeing her friends die, her friends die. She ran, and she hated herself for it. She hated herself for years, and tried to make up for it. She was basically punishing herself for years, and, took on, like, almost, she was borderline suicidal, throughout her life, at least in my headcanon, that she was borderline suicidal. She was taking on, like, these Black Ops missions for the Sky Council at a very young age to do some, like, mop-up operations and, some really dirty shit. Like, think of it kind of like, I wouldn't say Cassian Andor from Rogue One, more like, I've kind of compared her character in my headcanon, that she's very much like another Star Wars character, Quinlan Vos. Not Clone Wars Quinlan Vos, but Dark Horse Comics Quinlan Vos. Quinlan Vos, can't talk, the Quinlan Vos who is very, aggressive and, teeters on that line between light and dark. That's how I've kind of envisioned Starling in my headcanon and stories, is that Starling is a very, she's mentally unbalanced because seeing losing her squadron and not being there for them, and she's also kind of tempted by, in her time when she took on the, the undercover work in Cyclonia, she was very, she kind of almost sympathized with them in a way. I had it that she was very, almost sympathetic for, because the Sky Council, she knew that the Sky Council could never get shit done, because they were always arguing among themselves, and all the other Terras were, bickering among themselves, and while the Cyclonians were this very ordered, very firm, and united force. That's why they kept winning battles, was because they, they didn't argue with each other. They just had that one ruler who had everything under control. So, but, however, Starling knew the brutality that the Cyclonians had, so she basically, that's what was kind of the tipping point, was that that's what she didn't want. But had Cyclonus been, the Cyclonians been more gracious and a more, positive force, she actually considered joining them. There were points throughout that undercover point, in her life undercover, was that I had it that she was kind of like, yeah, there were points where I just wanted to join the Cyclonians. I wanted to, because they actually believed in order. There was an order to them. There was a positive force behind them, but maybe they just needed someone to bring that out. So that's why she's kind of distant, because she's, again, with the Stormhawks, she didn't want to feel like joining a team and going through that psychological trauma again, but also because she couldn't trust herself around people anymore, because she's so she's teetering on, just leaving the Sky Knights behind and, joining Cyclonia constantly in her head. Because, yeah, she did Black Ops shit for the Sky Council. She has done some nasty shit throughout her life. And that's why she can't trust herself, because she may look normal, but on the inside I had it that she's dealing with a lot of demons. Um, she's, she's dealing with a lot. And I also had it that she is a chronic drinker. She is, oh yeah, she exercises a lot and tries to keep her mind focused. But when she has her really downtime, like like when she feels really low, she hits the bottle pretty hard. Because she cannot look at herself in the mirror anymore. She's a very, like I said, she's broken on the inside. And that's one of the reasons why I've kind of had in my headcanon that she doesn't like joining, she doesn't want to join the Stormhawks again, like I said earlier, it's because she could turn off, she's kind of afraid, she's like, I'm not just afraid of losing another team again, I'm afraid of turning on them, because they stand for the Sky Council, and I can't stand them even though I work for them, but I know what they're capable of, and yeah. So, yeah, Starling, in my headcanon, she's more or less dealing with PTSD on on a grand scale. She's a war veteran, and she can't deal with herself, and that's kind of why in most of my Stormhawks headcanon, where she's kind of, you kind of see her do a lot. She does all the like really Black Ops dirty shit for everyone, and also is very, she kind of understands Repton on a personal level, and why I kind of put them together, because they're both warriors, and they're both soldiers, and they both know what it means to be a soldier. So that's kind of the big thing for both of them, and that kind of draws them together, at least because, as most of you guys know, I ship Repton and Starling. So yeah, they both kind of, and that's why, in some stories I have Starling as like the lead of Terra Bogotan, and yeah. She makes it very clear that she is dangerous. She is a force to be reckoned with, because she knows that level of brutality, and she is willing to take you down. And even if you're a friend or foe, you threaten my Terra, I'm going to come down on you like a hammer. So yeah, that's kind of my general headcanon for Starling. So yeah, there you go, guys. Fun-loving character. I've just had her deal with a constant drinking problem and wanting to kill herself most of the time, or, switching sides. So, there you go, guys. That is my general headcanon for Starling. But you guys tell me, what did you guys think of my headcanon for Starling? And once again, this is just my personal headcanon. I'm not saying this is the definitive character. This is just my personal thing for my stories. But, yeah, hope you all enjoyed this, and just comment below, let me know. What did you guys think of my headcanon for Starling? You guys like it? You guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.